Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Talking Reds. And we are back for a match preview for Liverpool's trip to Brighton in the EFL Cup. We played Brighton twice this week, and this is the first of a two-game fixture against the Seagulls. And we go into tonight with a very good start in the Premier League. A very good start in the Premier League. Will we rest players tonight? We'll see a little bit further on. I've got a certain player in the match in the thumbnail tonight, and he possibly will be playing as well tonight. So, yeah, Arne Slot will probably rotate a little bit with Brighton again on Saturday in the Premier League. Top of the second in the league, fighting for the title. Rhys, what kind of team are you expecting tonight for Slot?
If I'm honest, I expect the majority of the team to be changed. I would keep. I know we've got the other young goalie, Yarrow, but I would keep Kelleher in goal just to keep the momentum, kind of like just keep him fresh, like keep him building up performances and whatnot. I would play if I was going for my whole first 11. I would have Gomez at right back. Trent needs to rest because obviously he's got a bit of an injury as well. I think he needs a break, so then maybe he can play on the weekend. And then who would I have? Tsimikas left back. I know people would probably want to rest Van Dijk and Konate, but one of them is going to have to play with Kwanzaa.
Yeah.
The one I would play is Virgil, only because he knows how to lead the line in terms of communication, even though Konate is a phenomenal centre-back. When him and Kwanzaa did play, there was no communication. I can't remember. And Konate would probably be the one because he's a bit older, even though they're both young centre-backs, because he's more experienced. I would expect him to be the communicator. So I don't want to risk that because we're playing Brighton. If we was playing a League One team or a League Two or something like that, because we're playing a Premier League team, Brighton, it's a tough game.
Is there a shout for Nat Phillips?
I completely forgot about him. No, I don't even think, even if you were to play him, I don't think he's going to look in. For me, it's Kwanzaa and Virgil. I'll play. Give Konate a break. And then, if anything, what you can do is you can give Van Dijk 45 minutes and then give Konate.
Swap him. Yeah.
And then midfield, obviously, I remember you said before and about Morton. I did think Morton's going to play anyway. Morton and Endo, because Gravenberch needs a break. McAllister, for me, during the Arsenal game, didn't look fit. He don't look like he's.
He needs that. He needs that rest today sometimes.
So Bosla, I'd still keep on the bench because I still think, even though he came on and he did all right, like he changed the game maybe a bit more like physically, I still think he needs to be on the bench just to have that understanding of you got to improve your performances. I'll play Curtis in the 10. I would keep Nunes up front. I would put Gakpo on the left, give Diaz a break. He didn't play that great against Partey. Should have done better for me. And then on the right, that right is the tricky side. Ideally, I would have liked.
We haven't really got anyone, have we?
When I think about it, I would have liked Chiesa. That would have been ideal, but I think Szoboszlai maybe on the right. If I'm going to play him a bit more further forward, obviously I would like Trey Neon to be on the bench, the feature. I'm not sure if this is true or not. I'm hearing people saying Conor Bradley might be available. Is that?
I've got to admit that. Yeah, Bradley could be available, so he could
possibly play something. If he is available, I would play him. But knowing if he's not fully fit, he might bring him on. But if he is available, I would play him and then put Gomez at centre back with Kwanzaa. And then
I want to see Trey Ione tonight. I do want to say Trey Ione, and whether it be like Trey Ione at the 10, that'd be nice. That with Morton and Endo behind, possibly.
I would like
Morton and Endo a bit more. Yeah. They're a bit similar, aren't they, in terms of that DM position? They're a bit more stable. They're not progressive like Gravenberch and McAllister. Not forward-thinking players, so it'd give Ione a little bit more freedom.
I think Tyler Morton's decent on the ball. I don't think he gets the credit. I think he's better on the ball than Endo is. I know Endo definitely is not, because you saw even that game against Arsenal, you see the pass that he could have played to Nunes, the straight, and he would have been in kind of thing. It would have been like a Newcastle type opportunity, and he didn't risk it. So I think he's decent I think he's underrated on the ball, Tyler Morton. But I definitely would like to see Trey Neon, because I'm a big admirer, a big fan of his. He's a big talent. I just think Slot's trying to manage. He's not trying to rush him in. So if Liverpool deal with this game, if they're winning the game comfortably, and I still think it's going to be a tough game because we're going to change the team so much. It would have been a tough game anyway with our first 11, but if we're winning the game comfortably, then maybe Trey Neon comes on maybe for half an hour, 20 minutes. But we got to see if he's on the bench, because a lot of the time he's not even on the bench. So
I expect China Ione to start. I think Nine will start. Real King says here, I would let Konate and VVD rest the game personally. That's the ideal situation, isn't it, really, for both of them to rest the game. But we haven't really got the depth.
That's what I'm
really
saying.
got that. And that flips if Gomez plays centre back possibly, but
we're playing Brighton as well. Brighton they're a good outfit. They're a good team. Like I said, if Bradley's available, then I think you can rest both of them because you play Gomez, who's experienced, with Kwanzaa. I know some people might say, "Oh, I don't want Gomez at centre back," but for me, he's another player who, because he's had not maybe one season when the season before Klopp left, that season where everyone was poor, people kind of single him out, but people forget again. He was one of the centre backs when we won the league with Van Dijk, so he's an experienced player. But only if Conor Bradley's available. Otherwise, for me, Konate and Van Dijk, 45 minutes each. Alongside.
What I want to ask Real King though, if obviously he wants both Konate and VVD to rest, but if you had to choose one, which one would you rest out of the other? That's what I want to know from you. Would it be Konate with Van Dijk? Obviously, Van Dijk's a clear one, but Konate is an injury-prone one as well, so it's a bit of a wait. Obviously, Van Dijk would need fit completely for the season, but Konate is injury-prone one. So do we rest him now and get?
I think that injury thing is a myth though as well, because I think you're going to see he's not God willing, touch wood. I don't think he's going to get too much injuries because we're not playing that way where he's got to cover so much for Trent, so he's not going to be stretched. So I do think this season, like I said, I don't see him getting as much injuries because he's not going to be having to cover two positions and be under too much pressure.
Well, Wilkins says here Van Dijk he wants to rest Van Dijk more. I think I understand that because Van Dijk's like the major one that we need to keep fixed. If we lose Van Dijk, we're literally panic stations. Obviously, I got told earlier about Tyler Morton possibly starting, so I do reckon Tyler Morton will start. And it's a chance for people like Tyler Morton, Trey Ione if he comes on, Conor Bradley if he plays, Kwanzaa if he plays. Big chance for these boys to make a name for themselves because Kwanzaa got dropped earlier on in the season. He was the number one choice at the first with Van Dijk. Who out of those four, say Bradley, Morton, Kwanzaa, and Trey Ione, do you think is going to make a big impact tonight?
I think Trey will perform 100%. You can see the kid's talented. You can see the talent and the confidence. He just slots in a lot of the time. I know it was pre-season, but when he gets on the ball, you can see he looks like someone who loves playing football, but he doesn't look like he gets the occasion doesn't get to him. Obviously, you will see. Obviously, when you're playing pre-season is different to actual the season playing, but even still, he just looks like a real talent. Bradley as well, we've got to remember, for me, is experience. He's becoming more and more experienced. He's the captain of his country as well, which is Northern Ireland. And then who else? Kwanzaa will be the interesting one because even though he's a good player, he's kind of been out in the cold since that first game against Ipswich.
Would you say he's got the most to prove after being dropped? Especially to Slot. I'm thinking regarding Slot.
Maybe. For me, I don't think he has nothing to prove because he's still a young and up-and-coming centre-back. We've got to remember, because of he kind of come in and done so well and Konate dropped off. But for me, I would like him in his head to think, I want to prove something. I don't really think he has to, but I would like to think himself as a player that because he hasn't been playing, he's been out in the cold, that I think, I'm going to try and prove something today. But just play the game. Don't be in your head. Just play your natural game. Keep it simple. Don't play the occasion. So, yeah.
I'm interested to see if it is a double pivot of Morton and Endo. I'm interested to see how that works because Endo hasn't had much game time this year. Morton hasn't any game time, really. So, but Morton impressed last year for Hull. He impressed for Blackburn. So, he's had games where he's been impressive at that level. I'm just with Brighton missing a few players as well. I don't think it'd be a full strength Brighton team. It's clearly not full strength Brighton team. So I'm going to go through the players that they are missing right now. Obviously, Lewis Dunk, João Pedro, Minty, Milner, Webster, March. They're missing a few players tonight, Rhys, and obviously missing a few again on Saturday. Mm-hmm. It's a chance for someone like Morton or Trey Ione to step up against a depleted. I want to say depleted Brighton side. It's still going to be a hard game regardless. It's not going to be an easy game for anyone. So it's a perfect chance though for these players, isn't it? For people like Morton and Ione to play against a less strong Brighton side.
Yeah, I just think it's a big opportunity for them anyway. The players who are squad players, because you're not always guaranteed to play any type of minutes, any type of game you get. It's your chance to show the manager. Obviously, you could be showing him in training, but it's your chance to show him like, I'm here, I'm hungry, I want to play.
And the real thing, the pitch, yeah.
I'm not just trying to be a squad player, even though, yeah, of course you want to be. It's better to be a part of the squad than not to be included at all. I want our players to have that mentality, whereas I want to play more regularly. So I'm like, I want to be up for this game. I want to try and show something to the manager, to the fans, and to the rest of the team that I can play on a regular basis.
It's a funny week really, because we've got Brighton again on Saturday.
Twice, yeah. So same as Chelsea and Newcastle.
I was thinking earlier, am I really that bothered about tonight? I want to win every single game. I want to win. I want to go to the boys to go to Wembley again. I want to win the trophy again. I want to win as many trophies as we can. But if we're looking at tonight's and Saturdays, if we had to take a loss on one of them, surely it's tonight.
Of course, no.
But you don't want to say that, do you? You don't want to say.
No, you want to win every game. Of course, you want to win every game. But if it's always
guaranteed to lose one.
It's always a funny feeling when you play the same team twice in the space of a couple of days. Sometimes the results is not always the same outcome. Even though Liverpool should win both games, today's game, the team will be changed quite a bit. And we're away from home. Obviously, we're at home on the weekend. I still expect it to be tough on the weekend, but I think it will be more comfortable on the weekend with our stronger team. Whereas today's game will be interesting. If we were to lose, I would rather this one, but at the same time, I want to win every game. And if he can get, in terms of his first trophy, ideally, it's a cup, ideally for Slot. So yeah, we'll see. Time will tell.
Who would you guys sign in January? This is a funny question, really. It's a funny question because we've got FSG in charge, so it's hard to really expect a signing. We didn't even get a signing in summer, really. We've got Bok here, so we've not seen him, and the Mamadash Villa, it seems. So.
The only thing is, we've got to bear in mind, though, the summer, like I said, you had a new manager, you've got the transfer committee, there's a lot you're dealing with. And so far, it's worked out not signing loads of players. So
it's not, but it's.
So far, I'm not saying we don't need players. Like January, if we don't sign no one, you'll hear my frustrations more. But
I just think
for me.
I don't want that to be an excuse where I've got a new manager, because every new manager gets signings regardless. I just think it's just we did a cheap summer, for honest. I think we let him down.
But you got to remember as well, whatever players they let go for, even though we know they're penny pinchers, I think that money is going to be used for the contracts of the three that we've.
You better be right on this. You better be right on this.
I don't have no inside sources. I'm just going with my heart. So
the way it's good looking right now, mate. The way it's looking right now,
it's not time.
It's not looking good. Right it's not looking good.
Why?
The more reports I've seen another one today about. I think it looks more like Van Dijk is staying and the other two are going. That's what I'm seeing. Simicast have you seen the Simicast interview today?
No, but some of these reports I'm not listening to, because most of the time with Liverpool transfers and things inside, they don't know what's going on. Trent's
listen to the Simicast interview though today. Listen to the Simicast interview with Sky Sports, and he says
about some players leaving. That's life, though, man. That could mean anything. For me, you got to remember, it's 3 big players, so they can't all be done at once. It'll be Van Dijk first. Obviously, we've got to see with the other ones, but I think, like I said before, it'll be 2 out of 3 for me. If it is 3 out of 3, that'll be great. But I do think it'll be 2 out of 3.
I'm not holding my breath. If I hold my breath, I'm not making it till Christmas.
Because you got to remember, something came out. What's his name? The guy on Twitter that releases quite things. I think his name's I can't remember his name, but he gets news from Liverpool. It said that Van Dijk, they made close to agreeing, and even Trent, they've made progress with in terms of what he's looking for and what he wants. The only person, if people should be proper worried, is Salah, because you haven't heard nothing about Salah at all.
Salah's leaving, so
that's been big goal, but we'll see. Like I said, we still got a few months, so you've got to bear in mind, and you think about it, where's Salah going? And you see what I'm trying to say? They've already said they want to stay. So, like I said, I'm not thinking about it too much, because it's still a few months. When it gets around November and nothing's happened, then I'll start worrying. December.
Let's answer this then, Lewis. Let's answer this one then. January. If we're going in January, I said it the other day. if we're going to January, like near top of league, and I said, if we're really ambitious here, we really want to go for leagues, then we do back. So say, here you go. Here's an issue, practically solved. Get a DM or get a left back. Go get someone there that's going to help us win the league this season. I think that just shows a bit more ambition, doesn't it? Like, just give the team a little extra push that we need.
I don't think the left back is urgent for me. I think people are underestimating Gomez and Tsimikas. What we need to do is Robinson needs to come out. That's what he needs to address for me. Gomez and Tsimikas can do the job for this season. You can get the left back in the summer. The position you need to address in January is the 6. Because in midfield, you saw against Arsenal, which we already knew, is that we physically kind of got dominated. Obviously, when Szoboszlai came on, he kind of brought a bit more physicality. And if they're not going to sign someone, for me, Szoboszlai needs to play alongside Gravenberch, and you put McAllister in the 10. But we need someone who is physical. It can't just be Gravenberch, because what will happen is he'll end up getting injured because he's doing too much. He needs someone else to kind of share the workload. So the 100% at 6. In terms of who, I still think, I'm not saying we're going to get that person, but I still think we're going to go back in for Zubimendi.
But Man City are going for him as well. I think
Man City are going to go for him as well. And I do think they're kind of favourites to get him, but you don't know. And I still think we're going to try and go back in to get him. I just hope if they don't get him, they have a plan B. Because we have to. If we're in January and we're still near the top of the table, that's going to be the difference maker, not having a 6. I think we need to address the striker as well, but that will be in the summer. I think we need a striker because Jota's a quality player, but too injury prone. And Nunes, like I said, is a decent player, but if this season, if he doesn't have that influence, for me, it can't just be he's working well off the ball. He's got to be doing kind of more than that. So we'll see. January.
What worried me more, Rhys, about Sunday? But obviously, you said Arsenal midfield dominated our midfield, and they didn't even have the two of the main midfielders in there. Partey was at right back, and the other guy wasn't playing.
Yeah.
So it's like even like the physical Partey and Rice, if they were playing together as well, that's even more dominant in terms of physicality. We are missing massive physicality in the midfield. I'm hoping Endo and Morton tonight, if they do play together, put a foot in and really be physical. I think this tonight, that physicality in midfield could be the key to
Endo to be like that. I even expect him to be the one as the experienced one, to be the one who's communicating a bit more. I'm more looking at Morton in terms of what he does on the ball. That's what I'm looking at. I want him to be physical, but I know on the ball he can offer something as well, because they do play football. If you watch how Brighton's been playing this season, they do play. It looks like they're a bit maybe not as open as this Serbi way, kind of, but they do play. I don't know too much about their manager, but like I said, they've been having a decent season so far. So it will be interesting. And they've got a lot of good other players. I can't remember some of their names, but they do have some. There's a guy they bought who replaced Caicedo in midfield.
Yeah.
Cameroon international. I can't remember. Yeah. He's a very good player. I've seen like clips, and
they've got good scouts. They've got very good scouts, and they get transfers pretty much spot on all the time to Brighton. And Minty was a brilliant addition. João Pedro was a fantastic signing as well last year. I'm going to let you read this, Rhys, and see what you think.
Cool. How would you react if 1 million gigantic skivvy toilets blocked the football field?
Right. Lyndon, I appreciate the comment. I appreciate you interacting with us, talking with us. I appreciate you interacting with us, but I don't even know how to answer that, or how would you want me to react? I think it'd be this sort of reaction, like that. I don't know how I don't know where to start with that. But thank you for interacting, Lyndon. If you've got any proper football questions, please get them in, Lyndon. Thank you for interactive anyway. What's your thoughts on tonight then? What's your predictions for tonight? Obviously, we're not going to go into it as wanting to win it as much as Saturday, but are you wanting just big performances from the players that have got a chance to
I just want to
make a name for themselves?
Performance. I do think because the whole majority of the team's going to change, it's still going to take around 45 minutes for them to gel. So it's like you'll see some things working, but you'll see some things where it could be straight passes or people trying to figure out how someone else plays because they haven't played together. But I still think I'm still going to back us to win, but I think both teams will score. So I'm going for maybe a 2-1 Liverpool, if not a 1-0, something like that. I don't think there'll be loads of goals for me. But
no.
First 45 minutes is definitely going to be, they're going to need to gel a bit. So it's not going to be flowing like how the first team usually is.
I think Brighton go for it as well, because I do believe that obviously it's clear that Arne Slot's going to rotate. So I think Brighton will think, hang on a second, we've got a chance here in this cup. If we can knock out Liverpool early on with obviously a rotated team, then that's one of the main favourites out of the competition. They've got a good chance. They've got a good team at Brighton. So people like Welbeck will fancy it. The experience of Welbeck and with players to come back further on in the tournament, they might fancy themselves to win this time. Like I said, if they can knock us out tonight, why not? And do you expect Brighton to really go for it from the beginning, knowing that?
I think they're going to both games. I just think how they are anyway. If you check the history of Brighton and when we've played them, it's always a tough game. Yeah, he might look at it as this is an opportunity in the cup, but you did say as well that they're missing a few players. I think they're going to go for it in both games for me. But like I said, it should be interesting. I'm still, like I said, confident. I think Liverpool should get through it. But if we were to lose, I wouldn't be surprised, only because the team's changed quite a lot and we're more maybe thinking about prioritizing the game on the weekend, getting back to winning ways. So,
we are reigning champions right now in the EFL Cup. So are we favourites for it though? Because obviously Man City, have they got Tottenham away tonight as well? So are we favourites for it, do you reckon?
I think we're there or thereabouts. Especially if we get through today's game. I think it's us, City, Chelsea.
Arsenal got Preston away.
That's a straight. I'm sorry, that's a straightforward.
That's a straight win. Yeah. Okay.
Win.
Right.
Even Arsenal, even though they haven't won the cup, I think since
they'll fancy it though. They will fancy it.
I still think it will be Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool, and Man City as long as they progress to the later stages. Those will be the teams who will be in and around it for me.
Real King agrees with you. Race here could be 2-1 Liverpool. Whether we play a rotated team tonight, I think it'd be a tricky game regardless. Even if we played a full team, it'd be a tricky game. Brighton's not an easy place to go. We've got Brighton again on Saturday, so both games are games I'm looking into. Like, don't take these lightly for me, because we could easily say even at home to Brighton on Saturday, because we're at home, it should be a win. But these games against a team like this that dominate the ball, by the way, they usually dominate the ball. They want a lot of the ball, especially against teams like lower than them. Tonight's a bit of a tricky one, because if we rotate the team, do you think Brighton will dominate the ball like they normally do against the lower teams?
I think it depends what team they put out as well, because if they change their team a bit, then it's a question of which team starts quicker, which team kind of gets into the game. But I expect the first 45, like I said, I expect them to come at us and be applying pressure for it to be cagey as well a little bit. But I do think they're going to try and put us under pressure. What I would like is if Liverpool can get an early goal, whether it's by starting fast or on the counter, that will kind of silence the crowd a little bit. And it might even make them think in their head, if we got to go early, it's like, oh, do we open up more, or do we try and be a bit more tactical?
Keep it 1-0, keep it lost 1-0, then get a goal towards the end. Yeah. Those are the kind of games that are frustrating me more than anything, when you go 1-0 up and then the other team's like, no, we're hanging back here. Yeah. Who do you reckon's key for Liverpool tonight? Obviously, for me, I think Gakpo's the main one in terms of being key to unlocking Brighton, because obviously Trey Iron is a talented player, but I think Gakpo's the one that's going to get you goals. If we're not dominating the ball like I'd like to, I think Gakpo's the one that'll, if we're counter-attacking or if we get a chance, is the one for me.
Do you think
that's going to get us in the feet?
Play up front or on the
left? I think Gakpo will play on the left. I think Nunes will play up front.
I think this is a big game for Nunes as well, because even though he's leading the line because Jota's injured at the minute, I think this could be a game where you can get a couple goals and that could help with your confidence. Even though when he's come in, obviously he's done well because he's done what Slot has asked of him in terms of off the ball and tracking back to help the team. I also think if Szoboszlai plays further forward, because I'm just thinking who's going to play on the right. Like I said, it could be Salah, or you don't know. I don't really want him to play, but
I think it'd be Szoboszlai. I think you're right. I think
it is Szoboszlai. I think that's a big game for him as well, because you're further forward. Try and be brave. Try and rediscover what the reason why we bought you, because it is there. We've seen it in flashes. It is there. You kind of got to take advantage of this. Otherwise, you don't. You'll be on the bench come the weekend. So some of the other players, obviously the ones who don't play so much, it will be what's the word I'm looking for?
A chance for them to prove themselves.
Yeah, chance for them to prove themselves. There's other guys, like I said, like a Nunes, Szoboszlai, like even Gakpo, will still you're more senior players. So I think this is an opportunity for you to like go out,
Step up. Yeah.
make a statement. Let Slot know why you should be playing. Like, wake up, arrive.
Is there any part of the pitch that you're worried about tonight, though? Obviously, we talk about, these are the players that can win us the games, like Gakpo, Nunes, Szoboszlai. Is there any particular worry?
Midfield with Morton and Endo, because you've got to see how they play together over 90 minutes. And obviously, you would have liked maybe not to disrespect, but an easier team than Brighton to play against. But obviously, we're not in control of making the draw. And then also, whoever the two centre backs are, if Virgil and Konate don't play, the communication there. And I don't want our defense to start slow. I want us to, I don't want us to, sometimes, even with the first 11, we've been starting some slow. I want us to be alert. Don't try and concede an early goal. Don't make a silly mistake. So the centre back pairing and the two DMs playing together is the two positions.
I think you're spot on, because these are the players that haven't been playing. It's not the fact that they're not match fit or anything like that. It's getting used to the game again and getting used to playing proper game on the pitch. It's sort going on training pitch and doing it on training pitch, and even like 11 aside on training pitch is completely different to an actual game. And getting that feel for it, like you said, Morton hasn't played all season. If Quanta comes back, he'll be rusty. It's that rustiness that could cost us tonight. If anything is to cost us.
Potentially, yeah. The rustiness, starting slow, players not, if they're hiding or they don't grow in the game or don't, just try to take advantage of the fact that they're playing. So yeah, 100%. We got to be ready. And if we do go behind, it's about how we react, how we respond, and staying in the game, kind of thing. Ideally, because sometimes you do go behind, but it's about that character to see how. Because obviously we know how our first 11 are. Look at Arsenal. We didn't play the greatest, but we were able to get a point there. We came back from behind twice. It's about seeing if these other players, who are the squad players, have the same characteristics of the game's not done yet. We're gonna continue. We're gonna get back into this game.
Yeah.
We're gonna try and win it. We believe. So, yeah.
Before we do go, Rhys, what's your thoughts on this? Ruben Amorim obviously joining Manchester United. He was close to joining Liverpool. It looked like it could have been joining Liverpool at one point until we went to Arne Slot. I was a big advocate of him joining Liverpool as well. I think he's got his tactics spot on at Sporting Lisbon. He's working with what he's got over there as well, and he's done well in Europe as well. So I hate to say it, but I think they've got the right manager at this point. I think they could have got Thomas Tuchel a few weeks ago if they had some balls and sacked Ten Hag ages ago and got Thomas Tuchel in, but obviously they're a bit late to that party because England's got him now. But I think they've got the one out there that's available. That's willing to move on from his club right now. I think
he's available right now. Yeah, I think he's a good coach. Obviously, we were linked with him. From what it looks like, he's got good man management as well. I think he was when he played, he was a captain as well. I think for when he was at Benfica, so he looks like he's got a good style of play. Obviously, we're being linked with, I can't remember the striker's name. The striker he plays for him, and United are being linked with him because he's on fire right now. I think he will do good for them, but you got to remember, I still think it's going to take some time because he's got to implement his style of play. He's got to figure out who's for his style of play and who's not. Obviously, he will get backed, but I still think it's going to take some time. But I do think at the same time, maybe comes in, they may have that new manager bounce. So I'm kind of happy that we've already played them. We don't have to play them for a little while.
I do think, I hate to say it, but I do think Man United will come back at some point.
100%.
Because they're too big of a club to not come back. A bit like us, we were out and down for quite a while. But
I wish
about getting the right manager. Yeah.
But yeah,
I mean, Ten Hag. I think with Ten Hag, what the problem with Ten Hag was, he's there for a long time. You still didn't see his style play. With Ruben Amorim, I think he'll get his style play straight in, and I don't think he takes any shit either.
Yeah,
I think he's a bit like Arne Slot. You know, if he thinks you're playing bad, I think he'll drop you.
Yeah, so he's gonna have a point to prove because he knows this is a massive opportunity for him, similar to Slot. So I do think it will be a good appointment. Time will tell. Like I said, long term, I think they will come back. Right now, though,
just stay where you are right now. Yeah, stay that get relegated first.
But we're trying to do what we're trying to do. We're trying to do great things this season. So
that move right now could have saved them from relegation, unfortunately. So
if West Ham were able to draw, then I still think he would have been in the job. But I think Dallo, you see, similar to when Gerrard missed when Roy Hodgson was in charge, when he missed the penalty and then he lost. I think Dallo done the same thing. He thought
on purpose.
It's more of a greater cause. I got to miss here for the greater cause of the team long term. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Well, a fan should be thanking for that, and shouldn't they, Dallo, instead of berating him online. Thank you for joining Talking Reds for the match preview. We're going to be live again after the game for match reaction. Hopefully, I think Patricia and Stu are coming on for the match reaction after the game. So about 9:30, depending on injury time, depending on each time, I'll get it sorted as soon as I can with the thumbnail, with the uploads and stuff like that. Please, thank you for Real King as well for getting your comments in as well. Thank you for joining and being interactive with us as well, because we like to bounce off the comments and the chat as well. Please make sure if you are new, subscribe to the channel, like this video, get your notification bells on. Like I said, we are live again tonight later on, and we get daily content out every single day as well. We've got Talking Rivals tomorrow, where I speak to other rivals about their progress in the league as well. Thank you for joining us tonight, Reds, and hopefully it ends on a Reds win tonight. Thank you.